I want to talk about Moz, your days there, and the business model and how it adapted over time. So, because that started off as a consulting business, right, or an agency, and then it became a software business. Then you raised a little bit of money and grew it, and we'll talk about raising money in a moment as well. But just talk me through a little bit about your decision from switching from a consulting model to a software model. Like, what made you decide to do that, and how did you manage that transition?
It was a little accidental, to be honest. Like, Ryan, I don't want to suggest that I was some sort of genius and saw the rise of SaaS coming and was intentional about it. No, nothing like that. The accident was that we built some software that we used internally at our own agency. Agency is a fancy word for a company that had like 5 people at the time. I think it was more of a consultancy. And we were helping folks with SEO, but to do a lot of the things we needed to do, crawl Google, collect PageRank from the Google toolbar, if anybody remembers that, like all these silly little things, crawl websites. We needed tools. And so Matt, our developer, built a bunch of these things. And I couldn't resist like this. I've always been this way, Ryan. I like to be really transparent. I don't like to have like behind the scenes secret stuff. I want to like show everyone and everything. And I was like, Matt, I really want to like give this to our blog readers. Like we built a successful blog that, attracted a lot of people in the SEO world at the time. It was very early in SEO. There weren't a lot of places to go. And Matt was like, dude, no way. Our bandwidth couldn't handle it. This is pre AWS, right? So like there's no cloud where you can host stuff. It's expensive. And I was like, fine. How about we make people PayPal us like $29 a month? And if you PayPal us the $29, then we'll give them access. And he's like, fine. So over the Christmas break, like 2006 to 2007, Matt codes it up. We launch it in, I think like February of 07. And by June of 07, we are making as much money from these PayPal subscriptions to our software as we were in the consulting business. And my mom and I, right, who started the agency, my mom, Billion, we were like, oh shit, this subscription revenue thing is great. Let's do more of that. And then we raised money in November of that year because some venture capitalists reached out to us. When they did, by the way, guess what I did, Ryan?
What'd you do, Ryan?
I had to Google venture capital. It's like, what is this? Oh, man.
The seasoned entrepreneur knows exactly what he's doing from the very beginning. Definitely not winging it as you go.
Oh my God. I was so naive. Like I come from, a background where there's just none of that sort of institutional knowledge. We had no network, like we didn't know anybody in Silicon Valley or tech or anything like that. Everything was just a lot harder for us. We had to do it all for the first time. And yeah, I mean, I think Moz was wonderful in a lot of ways. The SEO world was wonderful to me in a lot of ways. And also the world of venture capital is right for a very, very tiny slice of people. And not for me.
I think that's something that gets overlooked a lot. Like when I first got into this world, you read about the success stories in TechCrunch, and that's what everyone wants to do. But it's, what is it like? VCs pick 1 in 1,000 companies gets funded, and then most of them crash and burn, or they're just kind of the walking dead that stumble along and never really go anywhere. So massive selection bias there. But I always found the stories of companies that are not based in the Bay Area, companies that are bootstrapped, companies that actually grew by making something useful and charging people for it. Shock. What an amazing original novel idea. But those businesses are always way more interesting to me. One of the things that I've seen, so I run a community for software founders that are a little bit more established. They're past that idea stage, and they're based outside of the Bay Area. One of the patterns that we've seen pretty often is that they will start off with a service business like an agency, but eventually they want to transition. Again, the get off that roller coaster. If we get a client, we do the client work. Now we've got to run around and find another client, get off that roller coaster and get that regular recurring revenue coming in. Yeah. But a lot of them struggle to make that transition. So you had literally one developer, a couple of months over Christmas break, and just managed to nail product market fit straight away. Is that the overnight success story that was actually a couple of years in building because you had an audience and all that, or was it something else?
Yeah. So this is the key here. I don't think is the tools. Like if you were to look at what those tools were, even for 2007, like they were not amazing. I don't think they were best in class. There was a few like downloadable pieces of SEO software you could use that were all right. The things that we did right were we built an audience who was desperate for the thing that we built. And so even though it was not great, it didn't really matter because it was the only thing available, right? Like the nascent SEO industry was first off reviled by the broader tech industry, absolutely hated, despised. Any Hacker News thread that you read from like, before even 2020 is just, it treats people in the SEO world like the most despicable scum of the universe. And I think because of that, there was nothing in the field that people could use. And so, when you're crawling around the desert for looking for water, like the little muddy pool of SEO tools that was SEO Moz in 2007 is a godsend. And the second thing that we did that was unintentionally extremely smart was that we had spent 5 years before that building an audience of people who wanted that product. They knew us, they liked us, they trusted us, and perhaps most importantly, they subscribed to us. Every time we published a blog, we were in their inbox. There was no feeds at the time. It's hard to imagine, it's hard to remember what 2007 meant to have like someone subscribing to your blog. There was no, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn didn't have a feed yet. Reddit was barely around. Dig was like the place that a lot of techie people went to. It was incredible. Our open and click-through rates were just remarkable. When we published something, everyone in the industry knew about it, like within 48 hours. If it was good, it would be emailed to 10,000 people who weren't on our list yet. So those two things, I think, were the secret. And a lot of SaaS founders, when I talk to them, Ryan, they have a great plan for a product. They have a good idea. They've got a strong market they're going after. And they have no answer to the question, how are you going to reach the people who will care about this?
Hey, it's Ryan here. If you like that video, please click the like and subscribe button somewhere down there and check out the full interview right over here. Go on, click it. You know you want to.